We are not experts. Do not take advice from us. We are just people talking on the internet. We are not experts.
And welcome to Say Less, Say More, the trio that you never knew you needed. Go and get your money, little duffel bag boy.
Little duffel bag boy.
Tonight, we got a lot for you. Some sadness, some happiness, a lot of in between. Minneapolis said, hey, we're back. Of course, you know we got something coming to you from the Joe Budden Podcast.
Joe Budden Podcast.
The pocket watchers that they are. We got some sports for you. Trae Young is now in Washington. What does 2-5 hate this week? What is Jack's hot take? We about to find out. But I got the gang with me, the one and only El Residente.
What?
And of course, I'm 2-5. I'm a red-blooded man. And then we got this other dude to the right of me. I don't know what he's going by this week, but I know he's excited for Iceman.
Come on, man. You might as well call me Radical Ice. Come on, big dog. It's Ringo Mandingo, a.k.a. Swanky J, a.k.a. Do the Damn Thing, a.k.a. Cactus Jack, Jack-o'-lantern. One word.
Yes, sir. Let's get right to it. So, fellas, it's 2026 now. You know, time for new goals and resolutions. So talk to me. What's going on with y'all?
Rez, you want to go first?
Sure. I'll go first. First of all, happy 2026, man. We made it. You know, I hope everybody had an opportunity to reflect on the previous year and, you know, think about, you know, what they want to be, the goals they have for themselves, the things they want to accomplish this year. But I had a great New Year's. Me and my wife went to her brother's house in Charlotte and went to this stadium, one of the minor league stadiums in the middle of the city, and watched this amazing fireworks show. It was cold out there, but we had a great time. And I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to an amazing 2026 with the gang, you know.
Yay. Jack.
So for me, you know, obviously, happy 2026. I know you guys didn't get to see us last week. We were too busy, you know, actually hanging out with family and being out of town, and everybody had a lot to do. So, you know, but yeah, man. For me, New Year's personally, I used to really talk down on everybody who did the whole New Year, new me. I'm going to be different this time. But actually, you know, like I actually decided that this year I'm going to, you know, try a New Year's resolution. So I stopped drinking. Yeah, smack. But yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to be healthy. So my goal this year is to get into the best shape I've ever been in. It's going to be hard because, like, getting back to army shape or trying to, like, go above that is tough. But that's my goal. Like, I want to be able to do a handstand. Like, that's my like 2026 goal. Do a handstand and walk. Yeah.
Freaky ass. He a 69 God. 69.
This man wants to.
Yeah, that's what I want.
A handstand?
I said I want to do a handstand. I want to walk.
Are you pee popping? You pee popping on a handstand?
That's crazy.
I wonder what happens. Yeah, what goes through your mind when you're standing next to Sexy Red?
I didn't. Nobody interrupted, but you know, it's cool. What everybody doesn't know is all day to day, we have been so disrespectful to each other.
I just want to know what you think when you next to Sexy Red, man. That's all I want to know.
I believe you see too bad.
But yeah, man, you know, shout out to that. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles, always, you know, preparing for this playoff dub. So, you know, that's what I'm looking forward to. Looking forward to smacking those trash 49ers. I don't know who the fan of that team is, but, you know, that's what my New Year's is really all about, preparing for this weekend coming up where we're just going to smack them back to the Bay, smack all their tendons loose with their trash facility next to the electric little compost area. You know, they don't even care about their players out there. That's why they're the most injured team in the world. So shout out to the San Francisco 49ers. Bang.
All right.
2-5, how was yours?
Well, you know, I was supposed to be in Montreal, you know what I'm saying? But one of my kids got sick, so I had to settle for Maryland, and I was eating that crab.
Did you eat
crab? I did eat that crab. You know what I'm saying? But no, I had a good time. You know, we got the surprise, you know, we had to drop in for a surprise birthday party, you know, last minute. You know, went to go see some family, and you know how that go. Always a little bit of drama, always a little bit of fun, you know. But beyond that, you know, we went to the African American History Museum where, you know, my 7-year-old was gracious enough to remind me that I was eating slave food. And then
what?
And then, of course, you know, since she had just did her project in school, we went down to Mount Vernon, and you know, then her and her brother got to argue about whether George Washington was a great person or not. So basically, all that to say is my life is filled with controversy, but nothing tops Minnesota. You know, like a few years ago, we had the George Floyd situation, and the country went crazy. Everything got a little bit quiet, little skirmishes here and there, and then Minneapolis said, "Oh, you forgot about us? Well, I will see your homicides, and I will raise you brutality." So what you guys think?
Is it police brutality or is it ICE brutality? Like, are they the same, or are we just kind of...
Well, just to make sure we have, you know, a clear context, 2-5, can you sort of give the breakdown of what happened that you know?
Sorry, but yeah. So yesterday, you know, well, let me set it up, because yesterday I was like, I was on Facebook, and there was this guy just doing a Facebook Live screaming, "Hey, ICE done killed this woman." And at first I thought it was like a skit or like some kind of fake video. Like I had heard nothing, no breaking news, all that stuff like that. So I come home, somebody sends me a video, and it's this lady sitting in the middle of the street. Depending on who you talk to, she lived in the neighborhood, or she was actively trying to prevent ICE from doing their job by being in the middle of the road. And she was waving cars by. Masked man comes up on her with his gun, and he's like, "Yo, get out the car. Get the F out the car." He grabs her car door. She backs up, tries to come back forward because they told her move on. And then she tried to move on. And then other homie was like, "Nah, you ain't going nowhere." And, you know, saying he shot, you know, 3 times, I believe it was. And unfortunately, Renee Good passed away, you know, from the shots.
R.I.P. Renee Good. First of all, before we even say anything else, I just want to start with an acknowledgement of a loss of human life, which does mean something still in this world. I know we're way too acclimated, and death is way too normalized in modern society. So the loss of life should always be acknowledged and be appreciated. So shout out to Renee Good and to her family. Definitely our thoughts and prayers are with you in this time of grief. And we're already seeing, you know, protests and people pushing back against ICE in Minneapolis. I sort of want to expand the conversation to sort of how we got here. As we know, since this administration has taken over in January, it's not even been a full year yet, believe it or not.
That's the craziest part.
That's the craziest part. The president of the United States has made an effort to root out what he's calling illegal immigrants. But I find it really interesting. I want to make sure I put that in proper context, because he's not looking out for all. He's not looking for all illegal immigrants. He's looking for illegal immigrants from specific countries. We got to be completely honest about that. That's not something that I'm making up. That's not rhetoric. That's not talking points. That's just the actual factuals of the situation. This administration is seeking out to get rid of, capture, imprison, deport, whatever you want to call it, illegal immigrants from a specific country, specific countries, normally South American countries, and people of color, bar none. And he's made an extra effort to target areas that have either minority mayors, major cities that have minority mayors or Democratic governors, Democratic governors, mayors, specifically also black women mayors as well in major cities.
And real quick, just to jump in for a quick second,
Cook.
And don't forget they arrested Ras Baraka, who was the mayor of Newark, because they tried to say that he was an illegal immigrant.
He looked like one of the bad guys.
And that's the interesting thing. That, with that effort that's happening, we again, this is another incident of the government being used against American citizens, because in a lot of cases, people that are being rounded up are not even immigrants. There are people who have come here the right way. There are people who are actually born and raised here in the United States of America, and based on the Constitution of the United States of America, they are American citizens regardless of their skin color. And I know that's a difficult thing for some people to understand, but you should probably read. I don't know who you are, where you are, but whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Independent, you should read. And you should understand that at no point should the government of the United States be used in the way that's being used. Regardless of how you feel about this president, I think we should all have a great understanding of what's happening before us. We should all have a great appreciation for the fact that we are living in times that in our lifetime we have not seen. I think back to the time of chattel slavery in the United States of America, where there were literally people who just happened to be brown who were literally captured in the North and taken to the South and thrown on slave plantations. This happened during World War II. There were people from Japan, people who were of Japanese descent, who were rounded up and put in internment camps. That happened during the 250 years that America has existed. These things are real things that have happened. And I just saw a Facebook post, last point I'm gonna make. I saw a Facebook post from a lady who was like, she always asked herself, if she lived during the during the times of the Nazi Germany, or if she lived during a time of slavery, or if she lived during a time where Japanese people or people of Japanese descent were being rounded up in America, would she have done something? And I think that we're all seeing that most people are doing exactly what they would have done then. Nothing. They would have turned the other cheek. They would have turned the other eye. They would have put their head in the sand and acted like everything was fine because it wasn't happening to them. But the truth is, as Dr. Martin Luther King once said, a threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And we got to be mindful of that and do something different.
I think you should give yourself an applause with that one.
Sure. Anything you want to add on, Jack?
Nah, Rez is he always cooks these. I don't feel like we need to add anything.
Well, I'm going to add something.
Mine is lighthearted because it's funny, but this is a serious topic, so I'm not gonna,
All right, well, I'm gonna add something. I'm the adder. So this is where we are. So
he's a snake. He's a snake.
So I'm looking at an article. This is back in October, and this is from NPR. That says that 2025 was the deadliest year as far as being in ICE custody. We're talking about here. So 20 deaths at least in ICE custody. Newsweek put out something today after this shooting yesterday that this is the 11th ICE-related death as far as ICE killing someone since President Trump became president. But my problem with the situation, because Rez took care of the past, let me take care of the present. My problem with this is one, James David Vance, as the vice president of the United States, before anybody really had any data, before we saw the alternate angles of the video, we have the vice president of the United States on TV calling people domestic terrorists, him and the president using the word radical when we don't even have any information yet. You know what I mean? So first of all, when you hear President Trump use those words, he's directing that at people that oppose him. Whether it's true or not, if you're against him, you're radical. So in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I can't speak for you guys, but the president of the United States is a position that you don't get on TV and fan the flames. because I don't want to get into a big argument or any of that, but Donald Trump made his comments before January 6th. However you feel about January 6th is how you feel about January 6th. But he made the comments, things happen. So now you have the vice president of the United States out here on national TV calling Renee Good a domestic terrorist, talking about how the guy was justified. When I watched that video probably 11 times, and I saw him sidestep that car, first of all. Second of all, she was following commands. They told her to get out of there. Now, you could argue, did she need to back up? I don't know. But she did. You know what I mean? You can let her flee, get the license plate, and arrest her at a later time. Because I've seen people say, oh, they should have shot the tire. No, you can't do that either because bullets ricochet. And it was ice out there. Like, not the people, but, actual ice on the road. You know what I mean? So he had enough time to sidestep, shoot into the car, and we're talking about his life was in danger when the ICE policy says, if you see a car coming, get out the way. This is like the Boondocks, Riley, right? When I see P, I move. She saw P, she stayed. You know what I'm saying? When he saw the car coming, he did the right thing and got out the way. And this is where everything becomes trivialized, because there is right and wrong. But people believe what they believe depending on which side of the aisle they're on. So if you're one of those people that support Trump, they're probably generally going to side with the ICE officers. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm not going to put myself in that person's shoes and say that I could have handled that differently, because I'm not law enforcement. So I'm not going to say that. But he's trained and I'm not. You know what I mean? So that's one. That's point number one. Point number two is, if a dude runs up on a woman, or anybody for that matter, but in this particular case, a woman, with a mask on, screaming you to get the F out your car, and he doesn't say, I'm, ICE, or, Minneapolis PD, or something along those lines.
I'm an authoritative figure.
Right. If you don't say that and somebody grabs your car door, then why are you jackasses telling somebody to comply? Who are you complying with?
Because these people lack context. They only want you to see things their way, and they want to pretend like these ICE guys are just magically correct in their judgment. Like they're not just a bunch of dudes who got hired to do some real sinister stuff. Like, we all know what you're hired for, and we know what you're trying to do.
And then last thing I'll say real quick. And then, so what JD Vance did was tell ICE, rock on.
Exactly. Which is where I want to reiterate the importance of, regardless of where you stand when it comes to Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, Green Party, Tea Party, whatever you consider yourself to be, we have to get back to right is right and wrong is wrong. I don't care who commits the offense. The offense is wrong. The government should not be killing its citizens. People paid to protect the American people should not be harming the American people. ICE agents, there are people, Jack, I'm going to come back to your point. There are people that are literally joining ICE because they see what's going on, and that's their jam. That is their jam. I forgot, they had a surge in new ICE hires because people need jobs. Right? People need jobs. And so they open up the more opportunities for ICE because there is a ramped up emphasis on deporting people and rounding people up. And there are people whose whole jam is this new thing. And I could call it directly what I want to call it, but I'm not going to, because I want to keep the conversation in the middle of the road in a way where we can have it from an objective standpoint. There are people that are getting in there to be and do illegal things, to be harmful to American people, and they don't care. And to your point, 25, the response from this administration 100% justifies the behaviors of these people who, if we would just say, these are rogue individuals, they are performing in a way that is not up to the standard of the American government. If that simple statement could happen, more people would be able to give Trump a chance the way people seem to want people to give Trump a chance. But Trump doesn't want a chance. He wants his way. And that's a sad reality because we are a country built on laws. We're built on liberty. We're built on freedom. We're built on individualism. We're built on capitalism. We're built on collective good. We're built on, like, we literally have these things in place that are only in place because we understand that we're only as strong as our weakest people. And we are creating a bigger divide between the haves and the have-nots. We're creating a bigger divide between the privileged and the unprivileged. We're creating a bigger divide between the immigrants and the non-immigrants. We're creating a different divide between the races. And if you don't see that, it's not because it's not happening, it's because you're just nose blind to the whole thing. So either you're going to wake up when we're all in a too bad situation to be able to fix, or it's soon enough to do it. But the later we wait, the worse it's going to be. Yeah.
There you have it. Yeah. And I mean, and like I said, this situation is already enough that rational people can look at a video and say, hey, this man murdered her. Another rational person can look at this and say, I don't know what I would have done if I saw a car coming at me. Like, you know, so there is a middle ground here. There is right and wrong, but there is enough of a middle ground that we don't need these authoritative figures to try to shape the story. That's what juries are for. You know what I'm saying? I'll just leave it at that. But you know, hey,
he should have minimum put on leave. At minimum leave, 2 fired. At worst, he should be charged with a crime because he committed a crime.
Right. Absolutely. On camera and everything. You know what I'm saying? So look, I don't know how you get out of a topic like this, but I'm gonna just start it with Trae Young is a wizard.
All right.
You know,
not only is Trae Young a wizard, he requested to be a wizard.
You damn right he did.
Would you request to be a wizard?
Yes.
To win?
Yes.
A championship?
No.
A Washington wizard. Not like Hogwarts. Not like Hogwarts or Hufflepuff.
No,
like,
so this is the thing.
The basketball
that's why I said a
NBA.
championship.
Like, this is the thing that I need you all to consider. You know what I mean? If we're just going to look at teams through the lens of who they've been, then of course you wouldn't go to Washington. But you look at Will Dawkins as the GM, and you look at some of the moves he's made, the picks that he's got for Washington, you know, bringing in a guy like C.J. McCollum and being able to flip a C.J. McCollum with a Corey Kispert to get a Trae Young. Then you realize, oh, Will Dawkins was number 2 behind Sam Presti. So there is potentially a vision here. And when you look at the lineup, you see a lot of young talent that are all, you know, 21 and below or whatever the case may be. But you see defensive players, you see rebounders, you see scorers. It's a good mix of players that just need 3 to 4 years to grow. So you bring in somebody like a Trae Young who leads the league in assists all the time, most of the years. You know what I mean? And you go, hey, I could put this guy next to this young power forward that I drafted at number 2 last year, and we could kill that pick and roll. You know what I'm saying? I got a guy that could pull up from anywhere. I ain't saying he efficient, but he'll pull up from anywhere. And you got, guess what? The defense got to concentrate on him. So all you guys over here that were trying to shoot it over people, you might find yourself a little open right now. And if I'm Trae Young, I'm looking at this like, hey, if it all fails, I'll just pull up Bradley Beal. You know what I'm saying? Give me $255 million and send me somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're Washington and it doesn't work out, guess what? 2027, Trae Young is an expiring contract. So you could move him next deadline, or you could let it run out and go, now we got all this extra money. Where's Paolo Banchero at? Where's Steph Castle at? Where's whoever at? And
you know where they're at? You know where they're at?
On teams that are better.
They are not coming to Washington. That's where they are.
You don't know.
Nobody's going to the Wizards. Hey, in all seriousness.
Hey, hold on. Before you even go, Jack, if I would have told you 3 weeks ago, Trae Young is going to come to the Wizards because he wants to, you'd have told me I was out of my rabbit ass.
I absolutely would have.
Of course. I would have said you're on crack. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely would have.
What I was going to ask you is, has there ever been a time where the Wizards were like legit a favorite for a championship?
It was before I was born.
The Bullets.
Yeah, that was before I was born.
So
They
again,
won
I
the
asked the same
championship.
question.
They won the championship 3 years
I
before
asked
I was
the
born.
same question. Has there ever been a time that the Wizards have ever been considered a championship team?
No, but before 2000, you would have asked me, is there a time that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2002, have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ever been a contender? Before Tom Brady got there, you would have said, have the New England Patriots ever done a damn thing besides lose to the Bears in the Super Bowl?
But they went to 2 Super Bowls in the
They went to
in
2
the
Super
80s.
Bowls.
And they went to a third in the 90s.
You get what I'm saying, though. Like, you know, those teams were not household names in that way.
Well,
You
no,
know what I mean?
they
They
lost the
were.
games.
The Arizona Cardinals made a Super Bowl.
I'd rather play for the Cardinals than the Wizards.
I think there's a few things for me. So I think there's a few things for me, right? So I think one, no, I don't think the Wizards are anywhere near contender worthy. Where are they right now?
They're not.
Where are they right now?
They're not. They're at the bottom of the East.
Okay, so they're at the very bottom of the East. All
Well,
right.
they're like third from the bottom, yeah.
Okay, so they're near the bottom of the East, right?
But they
The
are
question-
6-4 in their last 10.
But the question I'd have to ask myself,
Okay.
and this is the question that sort of pushes it for me, is does Trae Young make them a better team? And I don't think he does. I don't think Trae Young is a good enough. What do y'all like to use the term? Force multiplier. He's not a force multiplier. Like, Trae Young doesn't make other people better. He's just a guy who he's on the court. He can get production. He's going to get his numbers. He's going to do his 1-2. But adding Trae Young in and of itself doesn't really do much to move your team from 13th place to 6th place.
I agree.
Oh no, I don't know, man. Because if he's gonna bring those 11 assists to these younger, hungrier guys, that might actually do something.
How many
No,
assists
but
does
the
CJ
difference
does
is-
CJ McCollum average?
But the difference is,
How many assists does CJ McCollum have? Let's find out.
but the
Keep going,
difference
2-5.
is that as you bring in a Trae Young, and this draft coming up is deep. And you know the Wizards
That's
are
true.
guaranteed at least a top 8 pick. And I think there's at least 6 or 7 of those dudes that you want to get in the Wizards are so bad that you can grab any of them.
All right, so
Fair
CJ McCollum averages 3.6 assists. Trae Young averages 11. I think that
How many
this
points?
is
How many points?
18.
How many young Trae Young average?
Like, I'm not going to make the case that the Wizards are going to make them like he's going to suddenly
Right.
turn them into a playoff team.
Right.
I'm
right.
just saying that it's another step in that because it's going to take 3 years, but it's a step in that right direction. And by the time you get to that 3rd year, he's going to be in year 11 or 12. So you're probably flipping him anyway.
Yeah. Well, he averages 19.3 points a game, and he averages 9 assists. So he's definitely an upgrade from CJ McCollum, even though CJ McCollum shoots 45% and Trae Young shoots 41%. But Trae Young probably shoots 41% because Trae Young is the only thing that matters on that team. So he's chucking buckets.
But that's the
and
thing.
the shot selection and the shot
His
selection.
shot selection is terrible.
Yeah.
He shoots like he's still at Oklahoma.
Okay.
But I think that he's a big enough threat and has hit enough big shots that
That
defense
you have to
will
respect
collapse
it.
on him. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I'm not sitting here saying like the Wizards are going to just magically go crazy, but
Right.
you know, I do hope that they get something out of this trade, even though this trade is easily like laughable because it's just like, yo, like really.
Well, you know,
I mean,
that's
I
not
don't see
even
this
the
one.
laughable part.
I don't see it as laughable. I don't.
That's not the laughable part. The laughable
Mhm.
part is after this trade, Atlanta allegedly is looking to trade
For Anthony Davis.
not just trade for Anthony Davis, trade Kristaps Porzingis, Luke Kennard potentially, and last year's #1 draft pick, Zachary Ricochet, for Anthony Davis.
And my thing is, Anthony Davis goes to I almost said the Falcons. He goes to the Hawks, and then what happens to the Hawks?
They're still the Hawks.
Like, I feel like,
I
in
feel like
all
certain
honesty,
franchises are just what they are. Like, what did it
Yeah.
take the Cavs? Think about the Cavs, right? What did it take for the Cavs to no longer be the Cavs? LeBron James. The Bulls were a bottom of the barrel franchise. What did it take? Michael freaking Jordan. Like when you look at these like in the NBA, you need a game changer. Like what you have to hit on one of those guys.
So just looking at, like I said, looking at this draft, right? You know what I'm saying? The Wizards could get a Boozer. They could get a Nate
nice,
Mint.
yo.
They could get a Nate Mint. You know what I'm saying? Like there's plenty of players in this draft that could come to the Wizards and be that cornerstone.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess because what I don't want to do is I don't want to make it into a zero-sum game where it's like, oh, well, unless they're going to win the championship, it doesn't make sense to make any moves. Like, that's not at all what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just, if I'm Trae Young, I don't understand asking to be traded to I think asking to be traded to the Wizards is the weird part for me.
That's
like there's so many teams in the league.
Well, there's so many things at play, though. Like I said, the money, like they're going to pay him because they're going to be desperate to have a star.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, and you could, do that thing. Like I said, get the money, ask for a trade. You know, like, so there's ways that like he's playing the long game.
But I also think I think it's also, and I know we got to move off this, but I think it's also, you're asking, it's essentially a lateral trade to me. I think that's the other thing. Like it's a lateral move. It is. Any money he could have gotten in Washington, he could have gotten in Atlanta. He's in another apathetic sports city. That's not like, they don't have a like, I love how much of a Wizard fan you are. I think that's really dope. But most people aren't like that are Wizards fans. They're like Hawks fans. Like they're all, it's a transient city. So everybody that comes there are fans of other teams. Like I went to a Wizards game in Capital One Arena. It wasn't packed. I got tickets right before the game for like $12. It had really good seats.
No, that's real. That's real. I mean, I haven't been there since Giannis's rookie year, but I got $7 tickets in, was like 3 rows behind the basket.
I'm saying, bro, like it's an apathetic. I just don't. If his goal is, as most people's is I want to win a championship. I'm sick of being in this place where I'm in this middle, or not even middle, because I don't think the Hawks are a middling team. I think they're like somewhere near the bottom. But like, I've been in this place. I really want to play in some meaningful games. I don't want to waste my formative years just chasing a bag, right? I want to go after it. I think that's.
Come on, man.
Me,
Ain't nothing gonna be as. What was the word you just said? I just lost it in my head.
I don't remember.
Reasonable? Is that what no. Meaningful. That's what I said. I mean, come on, let's be real here. Ain't nothing gonna be as meaningful as 49ers Eagles.
I mean, that's for sure.
So listen, since Jack went first, he used his intro time to talk about, my team. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna make a whole bunch of bolstering
You're gonna take the high road, y'all.
This is what I'm gonna do, y'all. I'm gonna tell you like this.
Senator Rajon.
My team, the San Francisco 49ers, who play in Santa Clara, in Levi Stadium, a place I just happened to No, it's actually in Santa Clara. It's outside of San Jose. But I just visited this place, y'all. Just a couple weeks ago, I was just there. I was just there. And I don't know if Jack's been to his team's stadium for a game yet. Y'all should ask him about that before we finish this podcast. I don't know. 2-5, that might be a good question to ask him if he's been to Lincoln Financial Field and saw the Eagles play. I don't know. Just ask him about it before we get off this. But this is my second time seeing the Niners play in our home stadium.
Second time.
Yeah, for sure. And so I'm not, as a diehard fan who is really born and raised in this thing, who's watched 5 Super Bowl championships, 2 Super Bowl losses, watched perennial, Hall of Famers such as Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, Charles Haley, Terrell Owens.
Soon to be Frank Gore.
Soon to be Frank Gore. Like just legend upon legend upon legend
you
upon
would not
legend.
Call Frank Gore a legend.
Legend upon legend. I mean, he is the 3rd leading rusher of all time. You can argue that or Google it. Go for it. But this Saturday. This Saturday, 2-5, right?
This Saturday. No, it's this Sunday at 3.
Sunday.
This Sunday at 4:30.
Yes.
We have a daunting task ahead of us. We use East Coast time on this podcast. We agreed on that. I just want to make sure that we're clear on our terms for the podcast. This Sunday at 4:30, we have a daunting task ahead of us. We are, we're out, we're outgunned. We're an unhealthy team. We're straggling. We signed 3 linebackers this week. We don't have one player in our linebacker core that made our 53-man roster to start the season. Not one. We only have one player on our starting lineup that started the season on our front 4, and he got hurt this week. We have Brandon Ayuk's not playing. Juwan Jennings is banged up. Bulletproof is not practicing. Trent Williams is not practicing. Christian McCaffrey's back is having some issues. I said all to say this, y'all. Nobody's picking us to win. Nobody, y'all heard how confident Jack is, in this win. And
Did y'all just hear this man tell y'all the whole?
And I like this for him. But what I'm going to tell you is this: we're going to go in and we're going to play our best game because we are the Niners and we show up to fight every single week, regardless of who shows up on the field. I know Robert Saleh's going to coach those guys up. I know Kyle Shanahan's going to have our offense prepared, and I know Brock Purdy's going to come out there and make the most of our C- level wide receiver core. And we're going to do our best. But if by any chance we win that game, y'all are not going to see Jack on next week's podcast. I'm telling you right now.
Well, I just want to know how many people have seen Jack at the link.
Let's see. How many people have seen me at the link? Whoever was there. So what I think about that.
How many times? How many incidents how many opportunities did they have to see you at the link? Is what the question is. I think.
How many opportunities?
How many opportunities? Because you were there at the game. Like you went inside. You had tickets.
Okay. So the answer to that is actually to be decided.
Oh yes. That's a 0, guys. That's a 0 for those. Let's just clap for that. Let's clap for fanhood.
What?
Clapping for fanhood, visiting your team in there.
Fanhood.
Yeah, there you go. All right, okay, cool.
That's what it is. Look,
all right, so guys, give me an upset.
No, wait, 2-5. I'm not. No, hell no. I'm not done.
All right, well, yeah, let's
that off.
Go ahead. Let's spend like 45 minutes on this game. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, because he's not gonna get that off and just moving on up. No, fly Eagles fly. First of all, respect it. All right, play the song, shout it out. EAGLES Eagles. Don't ever play with us. Your team is broken, busted, and disgusted. You're standing over there, hurt. Your tendons are all falling apart because of the magnetic field. Like that's what's going on. You just listed off all
Did
these.
We hear this already? Do we hear this already from Jack?
I don't care. They might not have.
Do we need to repeat points on this podcast?
No, we're not repeating points. I'm just letting you know what's going on.
Can you say something new?
Talked about, Kyle Shanahan's going to have everybody
say
ready.
New, bro. Hey, bro,
and
say
Robert
something
Saleh's
new.
going to have, something new. 35-7. Go ahead, 2-5.
You don't believe that.
Bet that right now. Bet it right now.
How much?
Bet it right now. 100 right now. 35-7. I get 28 points. I get 28 points. Give me that.
I got a cold hard 20 for you.
All right. I get 28 points?
Yeah.
Bet.
Well, there you have it.
28 points. Okay, yeah. Hey, F it. Let's go.
Bet.
All right, well, there you have it.
Double if we win.
Okay.
Jack out here betting the cigar money. Okay, this is real.
On, Come on, man. Hey, one thing I'm not about is this ain't no $6 podcast. This ain't no $6 podcast. Okay?
We put it on the books. We put it on the books.
Guys,
we hold up to our rules.
Give me an upset. Give me an upset for this week.
Panthers defeat the Los Angeles Rams.
All right, so this is where I flip it around. Are you out your rabbit ass mind?
Yes.
The Panthers did beat the Rams this year. I think my upset's actually, I think, because I haven't looked at the line, but can you check this? Jags, Bills.
All right, let's check it out.
Are you saying that you're thinking the Jags are going to upset the Bills?
I think the Bills are probably the favorite.
I think the Bills were favorite last I looked.
They're not the favorite anymore. Hold on.
Yeah, the Bills are favored by 1.5.
Then I take the Jags.
Okay.
That's my sleeper.
Okay.
I think the Jags are a better team than the Bills.
The Jags are a better team than the Bills, and they don't even have the receiving core, but they're definitely a better team.
I'm taking the Bills, but for 2-5's picks, you can check out Sports Reports as ordered tomorrow. Here you go, right here. The Packers are the first 7 seed to ever be favored. Is Vegas tripping?
Yes.
Yes.
And Vegas knows that they're tripping, but they want to make money.
They're trying to lure people into that.
Yeah.
We don't even know how healthy Jordan Love is.
This is true. All right, so I'm gonna ask y'all the same question.
I don't know if people have seen the Bears. Like, the Bears are doing things that they're not supposed to.
I think that's why people don't trust them.
I'm gonna ask y'all the same question as I asked Mr. Logical the other night. If Buffalo does lose to Jacksonville, if Pittsburgh loses to Houston, which head coach is more likely to get fired?
Tomlin.
I mean, if we have to say something, then Tomlin. But I don't think anybody's getting fired.
I think Tomlin's more likely to get fired than McDermott.
Do you think Tomlin would have got fired if that field goal went through?
I think he would have.
I don't think they would have fired him at all, man.
I wouldn't have fired him.
No, I know you would, but I'm just saying.
I think he would have gotten. I think he would have gotten fired. I think if nothing else, and we've seen it with. I think the Ravens situation definitely has an impact on this. I think when the Ravens decided to let John Harbaugh go, the Steelers look at that and say that was a culture move. The coach seems to not have the impact that he once had on his team, and we have to do something to change before we lose, like, our culture. And for Baltimore, it's their quarterback too. Like, I think there's a thing there with the quarterback that they were trying to preserve. But I think for Pittsburgh doesn't fire coaches like that. That's not something that they do. They've only had 4 coaches in the entirety of their history. Like, they hold on to people for a long time. They've had Tomlin there for over 15 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he hasn't won a Super Bowl in a very long time. Some people make the argument that he only won because he had Bill Cowher's players, which, man, I don't buy into that.
And just to clean up there, that would be 3 coaches since
3 coaches. Yeah, sorry.
1960.
Yeah, Knox, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin. I definitely think there's something to that. But I think that Pittsburgh Steelers fans are also ready for a change, whether it's good for them or not. And I think that this change will be more not good for them than good. But I think that if they lose this game, which I don't believe they're favored in, which is really weird because they haven't been favored in any of their playoff games that they've played in like the last 8 years. But they've been losing them. So I think this one here, if he loses again in the first round, this could be the one that costs him his job. But I also think that as soon as Mike Tomlin gets fired, he will have another job within a couple of days.
So,
Rez, if he goes to the Ravens,
I doubt it.
I know, but that would be crazy, right?
That would be crazy. All right, Rez. I know last time I kind of skinned the cat a little bit, but I'm gonna give you your moment right here. All I'm gonna say is, old Bron.
Listen, can you pull up LeBron James' stats for this year, please? All right, so
I will.
I've been hearing the argument since. It's been at least 10 years now that I've been hearing the argument that, one, LeBron doesn't know how to fall back and let somebody else be great, and 2, Bron,
the washed king.
Yeah, he's washed, right? So I want y'all to look at this last year for LeBron, right? Okay. What is he averaging right now?
It's 21. Yeah,
21, 5 and 6. That's 5 rebounds.
51%.
5 assists or 5 rebounds?
5 rebounds.
5 rebounds, 6 assists. 21, 5 and 6. What are Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic averaging? Just points.
26, 5 and 6.
Okay. 26, 5 and 6.
That's Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves.
And Luka is what, around 28?
Luka is averaging 33.
33.
8. Damn.
So LeBron James has found a way.
He's literally the third option, which is crazy.
To be the third option on the team and still be effective and still like have an extreme impact on the game. This is something that great players really struggle with doing. You would never find a game where Kobe Bryant would allow himself to be the third leading scorer on his team after Shaq left. That was never going to be a thing. If he had to shoot, and this is not shade for Kobe. I know I have, people who believe I don't like Kobe.
That is one of the most unfair things I ever heard in my life.
Crazy to say.
Listen, if Kobe had to shoot, okay, do we have any proof that Kobe would be willing to Kobe said in an interview, Kobe said in an interview, do you think I would stick around the league averaging 20 points a game?
Would Rajon Lewis accept being the third option to Smush Parker and Chris Mim?
No, but I'm not talking about that type of team. I'm talking about if you brought in somebody and said, okay, cool, Kobe, we need you to be the support guy. This is going to be the guy. Which one of y'all think that? Okay, I'm going to ask y'all. Y'all are Kobe fans. Which one of y'all think that if they said, hey, y'all, we're going to bring in, who was a really good guy? We're going to bring LeBron James here.
I think at the end of Kobe's career, those last 2 or 3 years, he would have, if they had players on those teams. He was playing with like Jordan Clarkson and people like that.
Do you remember why? But do you remember why he was playing with Jordan Clarkson and them?
Because the media made everybody hate Kobe.
Were the Lakers going after major players at that time?
Yes.
They just weren't
major players.
Remember, they got Dwight Howard and Steve Nash. Then Kobe got hurt.
Yeah.
Right? And then once Kobe got hurt, then the Lakers decided, you know what? We're going to go ahead and rebuild because we got Kobe gone for a year.
Right. But my point was,
when Kobe came back, we had the young guns that eventually became Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, Jordan Clarkson, and Kyle Kuzma. Now, we don't trade those guys. Mm-hmm. We don't trade them. This is what somebody
they traded Brandon Ingram when LeBron got there. So Brandon Ingram was there Kobe's last year.
Yes, but this is the point.
Okay.
They were still growing and going and developing. No, Brandon Ingram was gone before LeBron got there.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
They traded Brandon Ingram for Anthony Davis.
Brandon Ingram was there when Rondo and Chris Paul fought. He was the one that ran up and punched Chris Paul in the back.
Yeah. Brandon Ingram was traded for Anthony Davis.
So maybe Brandon Ingram really did need to leave then. I was going to say, but Julius Randle and Tattletale. No, Tattletale.
D'Angelo.
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 Nick Young was there.
Nick Young wasn't young.
Yeah, who in those names is Kobe supposed to take it back?
So, I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the fact that
he wants to be a third option. I'm saying if those dudes grow up to be the people that we think they were going to be, like Julius Randle and Jordan Clarkson, they were actually really good. If they grow up and they develop the way they're supposed to, Kobe has no problem boosting these kids up. The problem was the difference between Kobe and LeBron is Kobe's body was failing him. He could not be what LeBron is doing right now. He couldn't.
LeBron's body is currently failing him.
Yes, but LeBron James
he also takes time off.
Kobe took time off.
No, he didn't.
How many games did Kobe play his last season, bro?
He was hurt. Like actually hurt, not taking rest days.
That's how LeBron's played so long. Like that's see, that's the thing. I think I struggle with the fact, like, when you don't feel well, do you go to work?
Yes.
Stop.
I do.
No.
Stop going to work when you don't feel well.
Kobe's last season, he played 66 games. The year before that, he played 35. He got injured.
He got injured. He had a big injury that year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my
point
that I was getting at was
66 games without resting. He was actually hurt.
But my point was that they were trying to bring in big name stars, and they could not get big name stars to come play with Kobe after Dwight Howard came there. That was an actual thing because people didn't believe. To your point, you said, oh, well, if they build up, and then how do you build up when Kobe's taking 30 shots a game? Where do you develop that ability? LeBron, like the change to that would be that if Bron was like, oh, Luka's here, that's cool and all, but I'm going to get my 30 shots. LeBron is actually saying, no, I'm going to give up the shots because I realize these young legs, they need to be running up and down the field. They up and down the court. They need to be dominant in this regular season because y'all going to need me.
Kobe would not have a problem.
Kobe couldn't get Luka Doncic at that time because
the league tarnished his name and because nobody wanted to come to the Lakers.
So Kobe had nothing to do with that.
No, he was hurt.
I'm sure Kobe had a lot to do with it. I'm sure people were like, "I'm not playing in this dude's shadow."
Right, see,
lots of people said
this is the part where we're not gonna be honest.
No, how are we not being honest?
I'm a Kobe fan too.
Yes,
like, he's really a Kobe fan.
But you're acting like nobody wanted to play with Kobe. Like everybody hated him.
They did.
Magic Johnson was trying to get everybody to come to. Don't you remember all the people that Magic Johnson was trying to get to come to the Lakers?
No.
Then do some Googles, man. Do your Googles.
No, I'm not doing Googles. Because
what I will say,
Kobe got hurt and it was like, what's the point of me going to the Lakers? He's dead now. What am I going to the Lakers for?
As a Kobe fan, LeBron James should be applauded for what he's doing this season. You know, and he also just became second all-time in assists as well. You know what I mean? And I know people are going to say he's played forever, longevity, all that kind of stuff like that. But, you know, to do that at this stage in his career is still averaging 21. It'd be different if he was holding on, averaging 9.5 points.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, so I got nothing. I got nothing.
No, I love this for LeBron. I just don't like the Kobe disrespect for no reason.
It's not disrespect.
It's not disrespect.
It's acknowledging. Kobe literally said, Doug, you can look it up, Doug. I promise you I'm not making it up. Kobe asked Stephen A. Smith, do you think I'm going to stay around this league, be the third scoring option, and average 20 points a game?
Yes, I remember him saying that, but he also at the time was averaging 33 points a game.
Hell no. This was not when he was averaging 33. It was not when he was averaging 33.
Yes, it was. It was when he was still.
It was one of the last years.
It was before the Achilles tear. That interview with Stephen A. Smith was before the Achilles tear.
Remember how bad that team was, dog? When he was averaging
they were not
33?
bad.
Do you remember? Okay. What think about it. Like,
so you think that the team with Dwight Howard was bad?
They were
because every game that season.
They were bad. Yes, they were.
All right,
Kobe literally had to average. Hold on, I'm just gonna say Kobe had to literally average 40 the last month of the season just for them to get the 8th seed.
Because Dwight Howard died from being soft, and Steve Nash was
so bad. So bad.
The team wasn't bad.
Okay.
Our definition of bad is different. That's cool. Whatever. I'm not doing this. I'm too much of a fan of Kobe.
Anyway, LeBron is killing it. Let me circle back for a quick second because I forgot to ask y'all. Give me those Super Bowl picks.
Kobe Bryant.
I believe him too. He believes that Kobe Bryant. He believes Kobe Bryant is going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Super Bowl.
That's what he's rolling with for sure. You know, this is what I'm gonna do. I never pick my team for the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna start with that. I never pick my team for the Super Bowl.
I bet you should.
Well, even when we should, like I don't, I don't. Y'all know me. Y'all never seen me pick the Niners for the Super Bowl.
One game at a time.
One game at a time. I want to beat the Eagles. That's what I want to do. But removing my team from it and emotion from it, I really like what I see for the Jaguars. I think this might be the year where Trevor puts his cape on because he has the team to do it and goes to the Super Bowl. And I hate to say it, I think they play the Rams.
Oh, same thing.
So you
all right, well,
Rams,
I mean, but see, this is the difference. You got to play all these gimmicks. I'm just going to say it just like this. Nobody, and I mean nobody, circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. So over here, we going Buffalo Rams.
So we all got the Rams.
So we all think the Rams are the kings of the
NFC. And I'm picking the Rams as the champion. But I think that Buffalo, a lot of talk, right? Down year, absolutely, but they still won 12 games. They still have the leading rusher in the league, and they still got the guy that won MVP last year. It's not dire in Orchard Park.
It is dire in Orchard Park.
It ain't dire.
If they don't win it this year, a lot of conversations start being had about Josh Allen.
Yeah, no, a lot of talk is going to be about Sean McDermott, who should have been gone 2 years ago, but that's a whole nother story. Real story, though, is Dr. Umar done really stepped in it this time.
Okay,
he done really stepped in it this time. You know what I'm saying?
I beg your pardon?
You know, he was out here talking about the goddesses that are Serena and Venus. And, you know, and he determined, you know, as only his mind could, that they used the criticism that they received throughout their tennis career to marry white men so that they could have children that don't look like them. Is that a thing?
So, as a guy who was a very, very avid Dr. Umar fan at one point in life, what I will say is Dr. Umar is his term, not mine, but he is the prince of Pan-Africanism. He is
He's the prince of pandering. How come people call Mark Lamont Hill a panderer and don't call him a panderer?
Because Mark Lamont Hill. So he's a great. He's because Dr. Umar would actually punch you in the face, and Mark Lamont Hill would talk to you about it and how to punch people and why he
call him a sucker.
Yeah, don't call me a sucker, even though I'm not going to do anything. Shut up. He stood up, got mad, walked to the door, turned around when he realized, oh.
All right, let's get back on track here.
Anyway, Dr. Umar is the great-great-grandson of Marcus Garvey, or like he's like 3 generations down, whatever. Either way, that's what he says. I don't know if it's true, but like I said, I was a big fan of his. Dr. Umar is a very, 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 very pro-black guy. I don't want to say he's an activist or anything like that because I don't believe we have activists in today's world. He's a pro-black individual who really believes that everything needs to be black. Black love, black job, black family, black infrastructure, everything. He wants the black community to completely branch off of white people and do everything ourselves. So with that being said, Dr. Umar hates interracial relationships. He thinks that all interracial relationships are all stemming from you hating a piece of your blackness and not wanting to continue that black legacy and wash it out with whatever you lay with. So with Venus and Serena both, I didn't even know Venus had a white man, but with both of them doing that, it's even more apropos. Would that be the word? That Umar would feel this way.
Apropos.
Yeah, I said "act" right. Yeah, but it would be more fitting this way because Dr. Umar is very, very specific in the way that he talks about DNA and how if you're biracial, if you claim your blackness, you can be black. But he's also very big on if your father is black, your black genes are even more so dominant. So with Venus and Serena marrying white men, it pushes the narrative that Umar feels that now not only are you washing away your blackness, but you also have a black father, which means that in their DNA, like it's embedded in them ineptly that they're going to be more white than they are black. And he feels like Venus and Serena are doing this on purpose. That way they can have more white passing children and that these kids can quote unquote have an easier life than these 2 brown sisters had to go through.
Is that a thing, Rez, besides RG3?
I don't have an issue with interracial dating. That's really all I can offer. I don't understand people that do. I think that people just love who they love. I don't think people seek out. Well, I'm sure there are some people that seek out, other races because they, feel that way. But I think to act as though anybody who dates outside their race is some kind of self-hating individual, I think that's really narrow-minded, and I think it really takes out the human element of love. Right? You love who you love. You're around who you're around, and I mean, I've never dated outside of my race, and I can still say that. I don't think it's never been an intentional thing for me where I was like, oh, I'm only going to date black women. It's just that that's the way it happened. Have I found white women attractive? Sure. Have I found Hispanic women attractive? Sure. Have I found Hispanic. Have I found Asian women? Yes. Women of all backgrounds I found beautiful, all of these things. But I just ended up with black women. And I think it's because sort of the things that I sort of look for in people, and I think are just more culturally aligned, and that's something that's worked for me. But I don't look at someone like you both, have, interracial relationships, and I don't look at y'all and say, oh my God, they hate themselves because they don't have people that look like them. Like I don't. I see all the people who genuinely invested your time and energy to find a partner that matches the things that you care about in life and have the same values that you have and want the same things out of life that you do. And I've met both of your wonderful wives, and I think the world of them both, and don't think any less of you because they do. And people may even give us flack for that, but I would say you're stupid because love is love. You don't get to decide, who you love unless you're just going to close people off, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but that doesn't make you any more intelligent or any more strong or any more black than anyone else.
Well,
no more black.
Well, I've been married a few times. My first wife was black. My second wife was Rican, and then here I am with the white lady now. So I say all that to say, we are the world. We are the children. What I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's bullshit. Like, look, like I have never dated a woman because of the color of her skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, at the end of the day, I had a friend that I grew up with. We used to be friends. She told me that I was with my white woman because I hate my mother. And I was just like, damn. Do hate my mom, but
your two previous wives.
Yeah, and I was like, I do hate my mom, but I don't think that's really it. And like, she spent half her life calling my mom white because she was so light. So I don't even, so I think people just get caught up in the hype. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't heard from Dr. Umar in a while. I don't go searching for him, but I haven't heard from him in a while. So I figured it was just time for him to pop back out. It was something that happened with a celebrity. Pop out and show him. Yeah, you got to show him that you're still a dumbass. And you know what I'm saying? And the worst part about it is that he's an educated dumbass. So that's the worst part about it, is that guy is very prolifically smart. So for him to say some of the bullshit that comes out of his mouth shows you what's wrong with the world right now.
I will say the whole interracial thing, I used to be really big on that. I used to be big on the whole date black, keep it black. I'm not dating anybody outside my race. Like, my wife is the first person I've ever talked to that's not black. So, I do think it's ignorant. I'm not as open to it as Rez and 25 are. I still think there's a lot of y'all out there that date outside y'all's race because you do hate yourself. But I don't just blanket that to everybody. But if you don't have a hairline or you don't like your culture, you are ashamed of certain skin tones that walk by you.
What's happening on this podcast?
What's happening is I'm talking crazy to all them weird black dudes that do date white girls because they hate being black. Them. Yeah.
Hey, I already brought up RG3. You don't have to keep going there.
Yes, the RG3s of the world with the Wayne Brady hairlines. Those guys.
So I will say that is despicable. I think, like, if you date outside especially I won't even say just anybody. I'm going to speak directly to black men. If you don't date black women because you think that black women are somehow beneath you, something's wrong with you.
Yes,
absolutely, 100%. No argument about it. No justification at all. And, speaking of no justification, there ain't no justification for it to be the 1-year anniversary of Raw on Netflix and CM Punk still walk out there with his eyes looking like that.
And there's no justification for Monday Night Raw to have a Stranger Things tie-in after the end of Stranger Things.
No Stranger Things people.
With no Stranger Things, like, it made no sense. There was no justification.
Well, they tried to get Billy, but I think she was hanging with Drake. So, like, I was watching this.
She's married with a child.
As I was watching this, the lesbians, as I like to call them,
It's like I try to save that one, and you just like, nah, bow.
Oh man!
Hey, we podding, baby, we podding. You know what I'm saying? So the lesbians came out, new tag team champions right off rip. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which made El Residente be like, there ain't no way no more titles are changing out here. And then you serious. Go, ooh, Maxine Dupree loses the title. And so was there anything that stood out to you about the show? What was the best match? What was the worst match?
before Rez goes, just caveat, just so everybody knows out there, Rez hates title changes that are not on pay-per-views. Go ahead, Rez.
I don't hate title changes on pay-per-views. I don't see why you would change 3 titles on the Monday Night Raw. That's what I was like, this is crazy. But I did not like the end of the Maxine Dupree-Becky Lynch match. I thought that was really, like, if you're going to give Becky Lynch the title back, even as a heel, like, make her actually win the match. And she didn't. Like, she just didn't. And I felt like it was a really lazy way to end the match. I felt like it was really a lazy way to end what could have been a dope match. I also don't think, I don't understand why Becky Lynch continues to get title runs. She's not interesting. She's not a good wrestler. She's just there because she's Seth Rollins' wife, and at some point she was really popular. And I understand that, like, the man was a thing before I brought wrestling back single-handedly, but it's not now. And as the person that brought wrestling back, I want to see less Becky Lynch. I want to start a petition. Like, I know they're doing the Donald Trump thing with her, where she's like coming out and saying ridiculous things and acting like things that didn't happen actually happened. And she's about to come out the next week and tell us how dominant of a win she had, which was the most amazing win of all time. People told her she's not just saying it, Sports Illustrated said it or something like that. But that was the worst match to me. Like, that was it for me.
I think that
less Becky, more Roxanne.
Yeah, definitely. So the thing was 2 things. I absolutely agree with you. It was crazy to end like that. I think they were trying to do the whole Roxanne is still wet behind it. I'm sorry, Roxanne. That Maxine is still wet behind the ears. So that's why she lost that way, because she didn't know that she was technically being pinned. I think it's goofy. I like the idea, but it's goofy. She's a professional wrestler. You know what I mean? Like, that's dumb. But either way, just a little behind the scenes. The reason that she actually lost is because she is going on a honeymoon with her husband. So she had to relinquish the title.
And I hate that we know that.
I do too.
I don't like that we know that at all.
Yeah,
and if she is about to go on a honeymoon with her husband, why give her the title?
See, here we go. You know what, though? No, that's a great point. But, I mean, that's just where the story was at the time. But, you know, I guess I'm going to have to go Woody Page mode again and straighten you guys out, because the worst match of the night was the world title match. CM Punk and Braun Breaker, besides the fact that my man missed a damn Frankensteiner while CM Punk was on the turnbuckle and damn near broke his neck and died on national TV.
He almost died right in front of us,
and then of course, I'm surprised Rez didn't run with this, because we had what? Run-ins. You know, we had old Tsunami Boy, you know what I'm saying, down there getting in the way. You got Logan Paul and Austin Theory getting in the way. And then you got Cierro Mierdo. That's my guy and everything. But come on now. This was the 1-year anniversary of Raw. If there was a match that was going to end clean without all the fuckery, it should have been that one. Because you're showcasing your world heavyweight champion, especially if he was going to just retain anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that Braun is the one that could have had the young moment that Maxine had. You know what I mean? You know, but back to the lesbians for a second. So, you know, Asuka is
Sky and Rhea Ripley, for those who don't know. But Asuka is one of the best things going right now too. We ain't been giving her the type. We've been talking about her in the chat, but like, as far as on the show, we haven't talked about how great Asuka's been over the last couple of months. Like, I know they lost, but she's been holding it down. Like, you know, she's does the heel that Becky Lynch thinks she is.
Yeah, like, and as much as I love La Primera, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna come out here cutting these promos, learn it from Asuka.
Yeah, I think what you just said about promos is absolutely right. I think if we were to say that one of the La Primera's biggest weaknesses is, like, the promos are just not promoting.
Wrestling is
my father. I'm cool, bro. And then, like, having was it not Roxanne, the other one, Ricardo?
Raquel Rodriguez.
Have her come out and beat her up with the thing on her foot. Like, we could have done without that.
Yeah, you could have just beat her up, like, and then
Actually,
hurt her
she could have
foot.
just got jumped in the back.
Yeah.
They never even had to go to the stream.
Well, that's the funny part because she jumped her in the ring and then jumped her in the back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could have just
And
had
then,
that
of course,
happen in the back, you know?
The ineffective Adam Pearce, you know. But hey, how about the slap heard around the world?
Hey, yo.
Oh,
AJ Styles slapping the
AJ
hell out of
Styles.
Gunther is the best slap I've seen since Jimmy slapped Gunther.
Yeah.
It was great.
But I'm gonna raise your highlight of AJ slapping Gunther with the low light, which I consider the Usos coming out and just doing the intro from the rafters. I love the intro, but it makes no sense to have them do an intro and walk to the boundary of the stairs and just talk and then go back in the back. If that's what y'all gonna do with the intro so y'all can hear the intro, then just don't do it. Just leave them off the show that week.
This is the episode that's gonna be officially titled Triggered. That's what it is. It's a triggered episode.
Hold on, wait.
4 letters, 1 word.
So
better
first
those words
Kobe,
right there better than any match he ever had.
First Kobe, now Jey Uso. This is triggering. So
you know they twins, right?
Kobe and Jey Uso.
So
Jay and Jimmy, it's okay for you to like Jimmy too, Jack.
I do like Jimmy. I literally just gave him a highlight with him slapping the hell out of Gunther. But the problem with the Usos right now is that, unfortunately, as anybody who's watching wrestling knows, they've been called back to the tag world because there is no tag love. Like nobody cares about the tag team division. Unless it's the females. The female tag team division is on fire. Like the female division in wrestling, period, is just up. There is
Everybody
no
loves lesbians.
Like nothing's going wrong in the female division, period. Whether it's the world champion, Intercontinental, US, tag, SmackDown, or Raw. People love them. But the male division for tag is just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Where are the Street Profits?
Wherever they need to be.
Yeah. Nah, they're not even on SmackDown, though.
Who cares?
Yeah, and I heard from you
Montez
two,
Ford is like that.
I heard from you two that SmackDown was good last week.
SmackDown was so good last week.
It was actually
SmackDown
really
was
good.
so good last week. And their
roster
that they're putting together in SmackDown is about to be beastly.
It's pretty good.
If they can just stop showing us Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, I'd be so happy.
And they got Trick Williams.
Yes, but did you see who's coming to Raw now?
Javon, which I don't understand why he's coming.
Not him. That's not who I'm talking about.
Oh,
I'm talking about the ruler.
Oh, Oba.
Yeah, the other night on NXT, he defended his title and then left the title in the ring, and he's Raw bound now.
He should have been. See, this is the thing where I don't know if I'm wrong on this, but I think that he should have been on SmackDown, especially since he already fought Cody once.
But you couldn't put him on SmackDown if you're already bringing
Trick.
Yeah.
Trick and my guy, Bouncy.
Ooh.
Well, no, he's going to Raw.
Oh, he's going to Raw.
Bouncy's going to Raw? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he signed the contract with Pierce the other night.
Where's the other guy going? The one I don't know his name is not black. There's another one that's not black that's coming up too.
I'm not tracking.
It's a lady. It's Trick. It's Javon. It's Oba, and then it's another guy.
I'm not
Is
tracking.
it the dude that you say is like The Rock?
No, it's not Ricky Saints.
Okay.
No, Ricky Saints is black.
Is he?
Is he?
I thought he was.
Oh, whatever.
But while we're there, the number one promo of this week came from the guy who's going to have a drop in this here soundboard next week, Trick Williams. He had the number one. He had an amazing opening promo.
He had a good promo. I will give you.
He had for his very first major level promo.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
he smoked it, and to get that kind of pop as somebody who's never been on the main roster of any major, they knew him when music from the first beat of his music. They sang his music from the time until he got to the stage.
Now tell the people what I've been saying about him.
You've been saying he was next.
He's next.
They got the next rock on their hands.
Yeah, he's the rock.
That's what I've been saying.
You've been saying
That's what I've been saying.
And just for those who don't know at home,
whoop that trick.
Carolina's own, South Carolina's own, Columbia's own.
And by the way, I just read that Ricky Saints is African American, and he hates when people don't recognize that he's African American. But since we're talking about hate, we might as well get into some more hate. But nope, not yet.
Oh, I thought I was going to 125 hates.
Not yet. Okay. So hey, but I do hate that QueenzFlip pocket watches so much.
Yo, listen.
And that's come from the Joe Budden Podcast.
Joe Budden Podcast.
Okay, y'all. So for those who are watching at home, if y'all don't know, every week we have to give y'all something from the
Joe Budden Podcast
so that y'all can, like, if you're not watching the
Joe Budden Podcast,
you can make sure that you're tuning into the
Joe Budden Podcast
and find out what we're talking about. But this thing this week that really is irking my entire soul is the way Flip pocket watches Joe. He pocket watches everybody, but the way he pocket watches Joe is really weird to me. And it's honestly a lot of the staff, but Flip specifically. So I want to say this because maybe he's going to watch this. Joe Budden is your employer. We all had jobs, right? We've all had jobs.
Right?
Yeah. Right?
Yep.
Do you get paid based on what the employer makes?
No.
Nope.
If the employer makes more money, do you make more money?
Nope.
No.
But this man makes a point of it every single episode to come in and act as though he needs more money because Joe makes more money. That's your employer, dog. And like, it's really annoying. It detracts from the show. It's really. I'm glad he started saying like contract talks, but Flip did let it slip this week that Joe did like tell him that he's going from being on 2 podcasts a week to 1 podcast a week. Did y'all catch that?
Okay.
No,
I didn't catch it, but I didn't even know that Flip was on 2. I thought he was only on 1 podcast.
No, he used to be on every episode. He used to be on. He used to be on Patreon episodes.
Well, he's been on one for a while. Yeah. I was just talking about the main pod.
Since
Speaking of, where's Mona?
Mona does comedy shows on the weekends. Yeah, she does comedy shows a lot of times on the weekends, so she's traveling a lot. But she's normally supposed to be there on Friday pods.
Yeah, she was there.
But Flip's only allowed to be there 1 pod. Like, he's only supposed to be there on Tuesday pods. Tuesday pod and Tuesday Patreon. He's not supposed to be there on Friday. And like Flip said it during during the Wednesday episode. And I'm so happy that happened. If I was to make another suggestion, Joe, I don't know if you're watching this, you might, because I know you said you watch everything. Hey, let's go from 1 episode a week to 1 episode a month if you want. Like make Flip like a sprinkle of papaprika on the Joe Budden.
You don't have to make it seem like Flip is just like unbearable on the show. He is. He's gotten better.
He hasn't.
The way y'all feel about Flip is how I feel about Ice, though. So y'all already know. Like we just.
What you saying? You like Flip, boy?
I think Flip is the worst. I think Flip.
I used to hate him, and then I don't know. I don't remember when it was, but it was recently. Like I started liking him, but. Yeah,
I like Flip. He's the dude that you have around to laugh at. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you just hanging out, you might be drinking a little bit. And he's just that one dude that says the crazy shit. And you just look at him and laugh. Like, because we're laughing at you, not with you.
We don't condone bullying on Say Let's Say More.
So I think, what I'll say is this. And I've noticed this, and I think Joe's done this strategically, right? So, and I was just having this conversation with my homeboy Byron. Shout out to B, Good Village Media Company. I appreciate y'all. We were talking about the Joe Budden Podcast.
Joe Budden Podcast.
And we were talking about like the different people. So we used to have, before Mona and Mark joined, we had Ish, who was as y'all know, I call him the dumb person, smart person. And then we had Flip, who was the crash out, right?
Correct.
the funny crash out guy. I feel like Joe strategically put in a better version of Ish and a better version of Flip in Mark and Mona.
Hey,
he's
whoa,
Mona's-
whoa, whoa,
he's
whoa,
Mona's
whoa,
replacing
whoa,
Flip.
whoa, whoa,
Yes.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Yes.
We are not going to deny the value that Antoine brings to that show.
No, he provides value. It's just since Mark's been on the show, he stopped trying to be the smart guy on the show.
All right, you got it, Aki.
Yeah, Aki.
How many
Monk.
times? Think about how many times this man. Think about how many times this man talks about how many books he's read, but he's never quoted any book he's ever read. Do you know who he does quote? His mans.
No, you know
Corey
what's
know
funny?
him.
You know what's funny is when they're obviously trying to poke at him to make him talk about things or like to just interact, and he's all like, nah, that's cool though, you got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you're here to participate, Ish.
Nah, I don't know what's going on with Ish, because even when Mark's not there, he still doesn't do it now. Like, he just doesn't like to participate anymore.
Oh, because everybody jumped on him. I think he's still like a little. I don't want to say he lost confidence, but yeah. Like there's something.
He got TD.
He actually talks more about stuff that he actually knows about now. Before Mark was there, he would just say stuff, dog, and I'd be like, if you had a basic level of the thing that you're talking about, you would not say that. And you do not care. Like, you do not care. And then he got to that one time where he tried to challenge Mark and the internet shredded him because he was dead wrong.
Yeah.
Like, he was dead wrong. And since then, it's been, okay, cool. I'm going to fold my arms.
Now that
and I'm
you
gonna
say
sit and
that,
eat my candy.
Now that you say that, I want to see how he handles this ice situation this weekend, on the Joe Budden podcast.
Joe Budden Podcast.
And then also on the Joe Budden podcast, they
Joe
had
Budden
an interesting
Podcast.
question. Is New Year's the same to you all?
To me, I think that New Year's used to feel like that scene on Forrest Gump where the girl comes up and she's like, "Don't you just love New Year's? It's like you get to start all over." And now it doesn't feel like that anymore. It
I hate
feels
that
like
you remember that scene because I do not remember that scene from that movie.
bro, Forrest Gump is my
You've
number.
probably seen Forrest Gump a mad times.
I've seen Forrest Gump easily 100 times.
Yeah.
Even though San Antonio does have the worst Bubba Gump shrimp there is.
I don't care nothing about that.
Charleston
I've only been to that restaurant in San Francisco, so I would know. But
going to San Francisco to eat a Bubba Gumps is wild.
Well, I never even knew it existed. I was 12 years old and I went to San Fran.
Oh.
Sorry.
When did you go to Philly?
So we have this thing now where people are just kind of like, it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then like New Year's, it gets less and less dope the older you get. It's like you try to like push it off to like this thing where it's like, I don't really discuss New Year's, or people don't even want to do New Year's resolutions anymore. It's just kind of like a thing where it's just like, the New Year's about to start, but I don't really put too much thought into it. That's how people are now. And I used to be like that when I was younger, where it was like I used to make fun of the New Year, New Me people because it was funny because I was young. When you're young, you don't care. I feel like as you get older, New Year should actually be more important to you. Because now it's like, it's a real thing. It's like, you can really look back and be like, you know what? I had these goals last year. I hit this one, almost hit this one, but I needed to do this. I had to pivot. And then this year you can revitalize the goals that you didn't hit, or you can just revamp them all together. I think New Year should be even doper as you get older. You appreciate life more. You have more experiences. You have more goals that you really need to meet because you have to live this life, and you're no longer a child trying to navigate. You are the parent, or you're the adult making things happen. So I don't think New Year's hits the same anymore. I think that people in general have lost the importance in aging. Whereas everybody now wants to stay 25 for some reason. Nobody wants to be the 45-year-old, 55-year-old wise guy. They want to be the 25-year-old turn up. And I think that alone is just changing mindsets in general. We don't have big mamas anymore. Everybody just wants to be fly auntie.
I agree. I would disagree on New Year's Eve though. I think it's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of sort of what you decide to do. Like this year, normally me and my wife, we stay in the house. We normally actually do something every New Year's Eve. Like it's very rare. Even if the thing that we do is like go to a friend's house and do the New Year's thing. Like for like 4 years straight, we had a group of friends. We'd go to their house on New Year's Eve. Then my dad started doing a thing on New Year's Eve, so we go to my dad's. My dad died, Jack, and then we would and then this year we, like I mentioned, we went to her brother's house and celebrated New Year's Eve, and it was really dope. We've been the last 2 years, last year and not last year, 2024 and 2023, we went to weddings on New Year's Eve both years. So there's always been something for us to do. Yeah, it's weird.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's weird. I mean, I didn't plan the wedding.
Disrespectful is what it is.
I think it is too. But it's cool though. But I had a really good time at the wedding. Shout out to my cousin Lucas, my cousin Jaquela, my cousin Delano, my cousin Sean.
Well, I didn't know it was Lucas. What up, Lucas?
What up, cuz? Yeah, he got married, him and Jaquela. They actually just celebrated their 1 year anniversary. Shout out to them. But no, that's what we've been doing. Like every year we have something, and me and my wife always make a point of it to be together right when the clock strikes 12. We try to stay up until the clock strikes 12. In most cases, we do. I think 1 year we fell asleep, but most times we were up. And we kiss each other at New Year's every year. We make a point of it to do it. And I think, Jack, something I think that also made, like, y'all still have like really little kids, so it's not but so much you can do with it. But like us, we be outside, dog. Like we be out here, doing it. And like I look forward to that for y'all, so y'all can have like the opportunity, like, okay, no, we gonna go to some fly and not have to worry about the little kids at the house or something like that. I think that's gonna be dope for y'all. So I think that will bring back some of it for you. But I also think that the point that you made about the fact that people, like, the internet has made people like so jaded on so many things that they don't want to celebrate something like a New Year's because it seems corny to celebrate New Year's. But nah, you give the meaning to the things that you want, and your practices allow that to happen.
I struggle with New Year's sometimes.
When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall.
What happened to your voice?
I need love. I struggle on New Year's a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because I have that pessimistic personality sometimes.
No way.
Especially when I'm not on my meds. So it makes me feel like I'm celebrating being another year closer to death. And then,
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My dad died too. But then, like, as I
I'm out. I am out.
So Faye and I, because I was trying to be more positive because, says she's she sprinkles that happy-go-lucky on me, And so our tradition was we used to go to the melting pot every New Year's Eve. And that was like our little thing. We get the picture with the year in it, the frame. They had the frames with the year in it. And we would drink our little champagne and all that kind of stuff like that. But, I'm kind of just blah about it now. I don't hate it. I don't like it. It's just there. I hate the new year, new me, because I try to be better every single day. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't wait to the end of the year to try to figure out ways to get better. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I feel. You go ahead and pop that bubble. Pop that bubble.
I wish I had a boo. Hey,
it is what it is. I said what I said.
Every day, then that means that in the new year, you'll be a better version of yourself because every day last year I built up to this. So new year.
Yeah. But we know a lot of these, as Ravishing Rick Rude would say, a lot of these fat, out of shape, like
ugly
Atlantic City sweat hogs. You know what I'm saying? After January 5th, they ain't in the gym no more. You know it. I know it. So I hate New Year's resolutions. But I don't hate New Year's resolutions more than I hate being called a person of color. What in the fuck is that? First of all. Y'all always do this. Yeah, I always do this and I can't get through it. So all you did, come back, Rez. Come back, Rez. All you did was find a semantical, pretty ass way to call me a colored person. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, calling me the insane name, you lumped me in with all these people that try to jump onto the black movements and get what they can get out of it, and then toss us away when we ain't useful no more. And you try to put us together in a collective way that does not exist. I am not a person of color. I'm a red-blooded man, first and foremost.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
a red-blooded man. Second of all, you know what I mean? I don't know where it started. I know we're trying to be politically correct, but just like a lot of other politically correct things, it's stupid. Because you can't tell me in one breath, why is it always about race? I don't care about the color of your skin when you're referring to me as a person of color. Now, I know that technically white is the absence of color, but that don't make it make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? Now, what color are you? What color am I? Like, as far as I can see, the three of us are different hues of the same color, sharing this beautiful melanin that we have. That shit is just jealousy for y'all assholes that don't got melanin.
I would say that I agree. I don't like the people of color thing. I actually think that white people are colored because they turn all kinds of colors, but they want to call us that, whatever, cool, whatever. Like you said, my favorite part of what you said was they do try to lump us in with everybody else. But I mean, that's what they do with black people. Everybody who needs a movement, they jump on us. Hey, yo, help us.
But it's not even just them. It's those other colored people.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody.
Color.
Everybody who needs help, they always grab black people like, hey, yo, you know what the struggle's like. Help us. We're trying to get our voices heard. And then once they get their voices heard, they're like, oh, yeah, no, go back over there, nigga. Like, go, boo, shoot. Okay. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So,
and all this time, I thought I was about to set you up for the hot take, and here you go.
All right. So, I mean, I could probably incorporate both of them, but my new hot take is women don't make men's lives better after the age of 35. And what I want to say is I want you to hear the whole thing before you jump out of here. Like, what is he talking about? Like, I'm not saying that a woman does not amplify a man's life. And I'm not saying that men are better without women. So let's just get that out of there before, the women start, what is he? No, what I'm saying is after 35, and I'm only talking about men that are doing something in this world. Not losers, not guys living with their mama, not dudes still trying to figure it out. They don't know what's going on. They're broke, no car, bad teeth. None of them. I'm only talking about men that you go into their life and they literally are just there to take care of you. Like they can do it. They don't need nobody. They got it. You cannot amplify this man's life. You cannot make him any better. You cannot magically make him this goal-oriented dude. Like he's already there. A dude that is 35 and has his stuff together is built to last. He's forward tough. You can't do anything about it. A lot of these women come in here and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fix him and all this other stuff. You can't fix him. See, what you got to understand is at 35, he's been through everything. He's been through the heartbreak. He's been through the loss of job. He's been through the downtrodden, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to pick myself up and figure it out. And if he's a dad, he's definitely been grinding to figure it out by himself because he's already had to deal with the mother of his children. For the girls out there that are being swooned or interested in these older dudes and they think like, oh, I bring blah, blah, blah to the table because the internet tells you that we really care about that. It's not about that. It's just what can you do to fit into my life? Because I'm not trying to fit into yours. You're fitting into my life. See, and like I said at the beginning, what I'm saying is you don't make my life better. But what you can do is you can amplify what I'm already doing, but you can't destroy it and you can't sit up here and pretend like you're going to create something. What you're going to do is you're going to come to my empire and you're going to find your way to fit into my empire. Otherwise, I'm going to move on without you. and I'm gonna find somebody who's willing to jump in and fix these holes. Fill these holes. I'm sorry. But yeah, and like I said, these are for men over 35.
All I
saying?
know is at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, I'm not a single guy looking for love or anything like that. But, you know, as a married man with a younger wife, you know, all I can say is that I was a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together.
Hey, bars.
AKA
Come on, there we go.
Yes.
I like that.
You hear that out there, red-blooded men?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. And Jack, I definitely understand where you're coming from, into an extent, but I think, you know, it's a bit of a narrow focus, because you did put the guy in this place where he has all these resources, and you put the woman in a place where she doesn't have any, and she's just
no. I'm not saying she doesn't have resources. I'm just saying as she comes into his life,
right? But she does, and as the man, you know, our job is to establish. Like I saw a pop the balloon video the other day, and the lady was talking to the gentleman. All the other ladies had popped their balloons, and she hadn't popped her balloon. And she said, you know, she didn't pop her balloon, even though she didn't like the way the guy was dressed or his hair. But she wanted to hear what he was thinking, right? She wanted to hear what he was thinking. She wanted to know. And you could tell this lady was very mature. She was extremely mature. If y'all haven't seen this video, it's a really good video. But she says, you know, I wanted to hear what he had to say before I made a judgment on him. I wanted to see where his head was at. So the lady asked him, do y'all want to ask each other questions? And he asked her, what would your first date look with you be like? And she said, well, that would largely depend on you, because I'd be coming into your world. So I would expect you to establish for me a comfort that would allow me to learn you while you learn me. But I'm coming into your world. You're building a world for me to enter to. You're not entering into my world. So to your point, right, you were saying, you know, that we're not talking about guys who are dependent on their moms and all those things. You're absolutely right about that. But we also have to understand that women of a certain age also have accumulated a certain amount of resources, experiences, skills that will absolutely benefit someone of any age. Now, what happens is a lot of times we actually tend to tear those women down as though they have no use because they're older. We remember Kevin Samuels, or your ex age, so, you know, who's going to want you at this age, that whole thing. So I just didn't want this to become that conversation, because I think about, I mean, when me and Toya started dating, I was 24, so I wasn't 35, you know, but I know dudes who had the mentality at 35 that I had at 24. And if a Toya came into their life and did for them what she did for me, any man is going to elevate. Any man is going to level up and become a better version of himself, because I rose to the level of the expectations of the woman that was there, right? I didn't have much of a world to invite her into. So I came with what I had, and we built the rest together. That's why I love what you said, 2-5. It wasn't about what I had or what she had. It was about, this is what I have, this is what you have, and now based on that, based on this foundation, what can we do together? And I want our young men to understand that yes, as a man, we have certain things that we carry and we're supposed to carry because we're men. But when we close ourselves off as though our worldly possessions somehow position us in a higher position than this woman who may not come in with as many resources as we have, we cut ourselves off from possibly meeting someone that can make us an even greater version of ourselves. Because the Bible says that when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. That means that anything that you give her, I heard somebody say, anything that you give a woman, she's going to multiply. You give a woman food, she's going to make a meal. You give a woman a seed, she's going to make a baby. You give a woman like a good woman. I'm not talking about everybody, because I know everybody doesn't fit into this.
J-Lo said that at one of her concerts recently too, and I was mad.
No, but I'm talking about a wife. I'm talking about a wife.
No, I feel you. I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not talking, like, again, when I'm talking about women, I'm never talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about the upper echelon.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about
sure.
like good values, sound mind, a true sense of who she is as a person, and a true sense of commitment to the relationship, she will elevate you. And so, yes, I understand where you're coming from, but I just wanted to add that context to it on top of it.
No, for sure. Because with mine, I love that you did that because it can be it can definitely be misunderstood for sure. Because I'm not sitting here trying to tell anybody like, oh yeah, these girls coming into my life and she can't do nothing for me. No, I'm saying at a certain age, once you've lived a certain amount of life, sometimes that's not what you need. You need somebody that's just going to come in and fit.
And what you're saying is that sex is not the answer to everything.
That too.
Because there's so many women that do, like, especially in this era, which we've talked about in the chat. I'm not going to use the words we've used in the chat, but there's a certain era that we're in when it comes to, especially modern young women, that it's all about, oh, my sex so good, blah. My sex so good, blah. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. The truth is, your sex may not be what you think it is. And even if it is, there's other women who also have sex that is pretty good. So you better have something that you bring to the table other than sex.
Feel like it's never. I feel like it's never.
Cardi B told. That's like that time Cardi B told Candace that she had a dry wop.
Oh, she did say that. You're right. She didn't tell Candace directly. She said it as a comment. You're right. She said it after she went to a yeah. I will say this though, like that's a big thing that I hope people are starting to like, because we went through a really bad era of people just thinking like sex is the only thing that's important and putting yourself out there and it's okay to be promiscuous and it doesn't matter. And we need to get back to a place where you respect yourself and your body. And that's men and women, not just men. I mean, not just women, I'm sorry, everybody. Like, you need to have some kind of value where it's like, you know what, I'm not going to just give myself to people because I'm in a phase or because we got one life to live, so I might as well test it out real quick. Like, yeah, you can do that. But at least, like, go on 3, 4, 5, 6 dates. Like, don't just do it. Oh, you're fine. I'm going to smash. Like, you gotta stop that.
That's what I used to tell female friends that I had over the years, like, you know, why would I or any other guy value you if you don't value yourself? Because you have something sacred, you know, like I know it's just, you know, as y'all would say earlier, vagina, that's what it is, but it's sacred, it's yours. You know what I mean? Like everybody doesn't deserve to play with that. So
correct. 100%. I don't want to drag this conversation on too long, but yeah, man, I want people to understand, like, fall in love with yourself, you know, stop looking for everything on the outside. Sometimes what you need to do is just really, really, really dig deep and figure out who I am. And your life will come together in ways that you can't even imagine.
Right. All right. So I guess on that note, guys, we are done here. Jack, take us on home.
Well. As always, we appreciate everyone who tunes in, whether you're a first-time listener or a last-time listener. We're just three guys with a perspective. Go to the gym, get swole. We're hoping to deliver a diverse way of thinking. Open dialogue always expands intelligence. Say less. Say more.
Take your meds.
Yeah, take your meds and follow us.
Take your meds, y'all.
Take your
We are not experts. Do not take advice from us. We are just people talking on the internet. We are not experts.
4 letters, 1 word.
All right, say bye.